Welcome back,
We
everybody.
are back, chat.
We're going to be going straight into round one, where we're going to be looking at April facing down against Swikers, who's one of the UK locals. Really interesting matchup here. I believe we're looking at Luticia that recently got support versus Nightrose.
I haven't seen lots of Luticias recently, so it'll be a nice refresher course for myself. But Nightrose, it's a deck I love, and April, very competent Grambley player. So hopefully she can take it to its ceiling. We can see both decks playing their best.
I'm hearing whispers of Granblue BDIF already.
April screaming in the corner. Granblue wins from this position.
Unhinged Nightrose screams. Angry Nightrose noises.
You can tell she's definitely not going for the mind games. She's April's repping the Nightrose, the V Nightrose sleeves, the arm sleeves, the main deck, the Nightrose play.
She is a Granblue player with every fiber of her being.
She's not even trying to hide it.
No, the interesting thing as well, because obviously you don't see much of Luticia, especially not the new support. But it is actually one of the probably stronger lyrical decks in my opinion, because it has a lot of. Effectively, we score the Overlord for lyrical, because it's a Vanguard who has a lot of utility with Blitz orders, because her Blitz orders go to Soul, and then depending on the number of Blitz orders that she has in her Soul, she's able to perform restands and not lose drives and power gain. And you can never, like you were saying earlier, with a game like Vanguard, you can never underestimate the power of triggers.
Drive checks are good. Heal triggers are really good. You can see Swakers is taking Mulling 4 back. Opening hand doesn't look to be that. It looks to have some early shield, which is nice to see. Especially against Nightrose, where they're looking to try line you.
Also give shield, they're defensive.
So
and the deck compresses a lot because of it, because it searches out those orders a lot.
April's list is slightly different to the standard Granblue list. We won't say the spoilers yet, but there is a lack of a certain card that April isn't playing.
Yeah, because this is actually fairly standard, with the exception of it's not teched for the mirror. Let's call it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with how many Nightroses are today, we'll see if that's a good call, because there is a non-zero chance you do just see those mirrors.
Yeah, I think her reasoning was if you her list is better into Levy.
True.
And if you're expecting Levy to be the best deck, you might want to beat the best deck.
Well, but interestingly enough, though, because we were talking about it, one of the things that interests me personally is how much of the current Vanguard format is not even just about what deck is best, but it's about reading the room and going, hey, it's a big event. Levy, because it's using Esperonia and the which is the dual nation, the Katastoke dual nation, can get a little up there in cost sometimes. So there might be a world where, despite it being the better deck, a lot of players might lean towards the Nightrose deck set that recently came out, because the number of high-end cards in there is maybe a bit lower and can be teched out a little better.
I would say so, but as somebody that has played the lower end of Nightrose, it definitely does feel night and day difference. But we will see as the day progresses.
We'll see if it pays off.
I see a Cycler in April's hand. That's always something you'd love to see as Nightrose.
If she goes second, she gets to say those magical words, draw three.
Draw 3.
Beautiful words. Music to my ears.
In fact, April's hand looks pretty solid from what from the sort of glimpses that we get to see. Tell her to stop hand shuffling.
There we go. If we just nudge them to be able to start, I believe they're going to be able to get started on round 1 of BCS Cardiff.
Showing the now marker that you got for topping. I am curious to see. Well, I don't see an Alvina, and I don't see Bone. But that's going to affect her early game. If she does have it, I'm just blind, and I apologize. So Luticia is first. We'll ride a pass, pretty standard. Discard ride fixer. Magic words, draw 3 cards.
Oh, that is actually some of the most beautiful noises you can possibly make in this game.
And it's just a swing. Oh, look at that. There's the Alvina.
And that's the Blitz order coming out.
And that's the Blitz order.
Yeah, so this is the first of our curses. I believe...
Oh, Bracing Glider check.
Yeah, the deck has 3 curses to its name. I believe it was this one that we got to see. Oh, sorry, no, it wasn't. It was this one, because it's a double rare.
Yes.
It was, effectively, you play this if your Vanguard is Luticia, which Luticia has the benefit of all of its Ryland sharing that name. and you put this card into your soul, you choose one of your units and it gains 15k. But then if your soul has 4 or more curse play cards, you also draw cards, so it just replaces itself later on.
A free 15k shield. Standard is sort of known for being the format with low shield value. But being able to guard early with the Blitz orders, that also sets up your turn. That might be able to give Luticia the edge in the early game, which is where some Stride deck sets sort of...
Because a lot of pressure for Grand Blue comes from its Nightrose turn, and from its, well, frankly, triggers. So being able to guard things early to then be able to take those lower end rear guards later on in the game was actually super powerful and valuable. 2, 3, and yep, she's going to pick the right Ditcher. Oh, the Order Ditcher is really strong. Because the deck has access to 2 normal orders, being able to call this, discard something, and then being able to, drop an order and play it. There you go.
That's another curse, yeah.
Yeah, so in fact we're seeing a little combo here. So we're seeing the promo order that recently got reprinted, which is saying that you can play this if your Vanguard is Luticia. You choose a card from your soul, you put it into your hand so you can bounce the same orders. And then you put this card into soul instead, and it is a curse order, so you get to recycle the shield without negating soul.
Yeah.
And if your soul has 2 or more curse play cards, you choose a card from your drop and put it into your soul, so you actually go +1. And then you choose one of your units and against 5k.
Has a lot of soul charging.
It is, but it's better. It's selective soul charging. And importantly, she gets to give that to the triple rare from set 2. Which says that when it's placed on rear, if your Vanguard is Luticia, you search top 3 and put a card from among to your hand, to your soul, and the rest to the bottom of the deck. But when it attacks, if your soul has 2 or more curse orders, which this one does, it gains 5k, and if your soul has 4 or more, it gains 15k instead.
15k instead.
So super, super strong here.
It will start scaling, damaging the Nightstorm.
Not a huge deal.
Not a huge deal. Though it depends on how many April plays.
What?
So since she's on 1.
But you're on 4 in long.
That might affect her Nightrose strides, because that's one of the best strides if you want to push the game. The best grade 3 to push the game.
She doesn't get crit though, and unfortunately that's no defensives. That swings at rear here. Yeah, April knows this matchup. She knows exactly what that grade 2 is capable of.
Yeah, it's
25k is a big number to mess around with. No, but as you're saying, the thing with Nightstorm though is, yes, it's a lot of damage, but you got to remember that what tends to happen with Nightrose is you're going to be looping, rather than him and Marauding Shade, that's normally only a kill turn. You'd go Marauding Shade plus in Largolf, and Largolf will then add Nightrose back to your hand so you can keep striding Nightrose.
Yes, but if that Nightstorm doesn't come out...
But April is not on Tommy, so she has to draw Nightrose naturally, and she also doesn't want to get bricked up on it too much. So you got to make sure you have the pieces to keep recycling it. Yeah, that's another curse play card.
Add your shield.
At the front, yeah. It doesn't, because the thing is, it doesn't have to add a cost order.
Yeah, it can just add anything.
Yeah, you soul charge a trigger, put it back to hand, no problem. Yeah, so if you look at it, already looking at 5 on soul. So yeah, this deck does it very quickly.
It's at full scaling now.
And the thing is, next turn you're going to get to see the new support from Sparkling Stars, which is, Revitoile Luticia, which lets you only ride it like a crossride on top of all Luticia. But the thing is, when it's placed, you search your deck or drop for a cursed order, put it to your hand, and if you search the deck, you shuffle it, and then you can CB1, and it gets all of the effects depending on how many orders you have in Soul, like how many cursed orders. If it's 2 or more, all your front row gains 10k, so you get like an extra persona ride. If you have 4 or more, you're able to resign at the end of battle and go -1 drive. But then if it's 6 or more, it also doesn't lose drive. Yeah. So it's just twin drive, and
they're already at 5 in Soul. So
yeah, and you can see all the blitz. There you go. You can see another order, and you see the Etoile in hand. And, but we're also going to see the effect of another one of the new support cards, which is going to be Cherished Starlight Rochette. So when it's discarded from your hand by a card's ability, if you have Angled Luticia, you can Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. And also, when it's in drop zone, if you play a cursed order, you can counterblast 1 call and it gains 5k.
Free body, and a free 15k body.
And it replaces itself in hand. So you can play the order that mills one of your cursed play orders. You then draw a card, then you play the order. You soul charge, you add from soul to hand, you draw another card, so you can play it again. And if it's in drop, you can canvas 1 call and again it becomes 15, 25, 35 next turn.
Yeah.
Huge, potentially 40 with everything going on.
So April's been pushed to 4 damage, going... Now, the thing with Nightrose is, it being a 3 attack as its first stride, the pressure isn't going to be there.
But it is a lot about setup here.
It is a setup stride, but there's no pressure. The fact that April's already at 4 is a little bit concerning.
But I think knowing April, I think she'd only go to this position if she hasn't seen many heals and has the confidence she can survive another turn. She doesn't normally the type of person to go high to heal down.
Though, Luticia's hand isn't that big.
And you forget the blitz orders you can only play one per turn.
Yeah.
So them breaking. So you can see the last turn, for example, like Suekas ends up adding a front. The reason you don't add an order is because you can't play all of them. You're not, you're not Lascaria. You can't play multiple.
You can't play multiple. Yeah. So I imagine she'll use stride skill here to build up the board, counterblasting the Night Storm.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Calling
has the hostage order, and that's where that confidence comes from. Able to deck thin from the deck for exactly the hostage order. So for those unaware, these are 2 cards introduced in Festival Collection, granted to Stoicheia, Keta, and Brancade. Effectively, each one of them got a grade 2. That one place you can Soul Blast 1, search your deck for what is called the hostage order. And when it's selected by the ability of said order, it gains 5k shield. And for those of you who are aware, what that hostage order allows you to do
insanely good card.
Yeah, it's when your unit is attacked, you can, if you choose one of your rig guards that isn't being attacked, move it to the Guardian Cycle, and it gets bound instead of being retired at the end of that battle. So it can either make a big shield of itself, or more importantly, in a deck like this, call over Perfect Guards, move them, because D cards say put.
Yeah. You call OT if you have it in hand. You get to double dip on the 50k shield.
Yeah. You just get double dip on all your things, but getting to utilize upwards of 8 PGs in a game is very valuable.
Also, since the grade 2 gets shield as well, it's a 10k shield, which in standard is extremely relevant.
Because very often you're forced into over guarding by 6k because of those little increments.
Yeah.
Or you kind of like, you don't have the 10, you don't want to give them 2/5, so you give them a 15, but that really comes out.
You don't want to do that, yeah.
Yeah, standard is unfortunately a piece reliant format, so you have to keep that in mind when you plan your guarding
Calling
patterns.
Glazy, calling Bone. So she'll get the counter charge at the end of the turn, and she'll get a draw.
And the ladder coming
And the
out as
ladder
well.
coming already.
I think so. Ladder isn't coming up in this matchup, so it's just about the soul and power and drawing.
So that's OB
First
into
check.
rear.
Energy cycle, and a crit.
Oh, sorry, that was OB
2
into
damage.
Vanguard. Apologies.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 damage from the van, but 2 energy cycles can really come up here. Because this deck is not very energy hungry besides Alvina. We've not been seeing much of 1. Ooh. And 2.
Well, she used Alvina, but April also used an energy cycle already, so she's already used 6 energy. So that means she can only use 1 unless she wants to counterblast for it.
But also we're gonna have Lazy about to pop itself to countercharge 1.
That means that if she countercharges, she'll only have 2 counterblast to work with. So does she really want to spend a counterblast on a?
The interesting thing here is normally the stride pattern is OB Nightrose, but April might be in a position where that's not really being an option for her.
If she doesn't do OB Nightrose, that first Nightrose stride that she goes into is going to be very poor.
But the trouble is, you gotta wonder, like, does she have the time to go into the full turn? Because that's the thing. Because like Soika's hand is a little fake. It's a lot of 5Ks.
It just depends. Does April know that?
Can April make that read is the question. Yeah, so April's going flipping the bone, trying to keep the PG there so she's able to heal it if need be.
So she mills.
Oh, and yeah, the front goes right back. Yeah, it's going to overcall. And then she's going to counterblast 1, probably revive a PG here. Oh,
Reviving a front for hostage.
Sure.
So
certainly an interesting line, I think.
So it's a free 20k shield, so it's not too bad.
30? 25, sorry. No, it is 20.
Yeah.
I'm confusing it for Clovis from Aquaforce. Shout out Brig Aquaforce. We really are in the water trenches.
We are in the water trenches.
Me out here in the Mariana trenches.
So Suekas is just making sure he can add to the order that he wants.
Suekas out here getting real silly with it.
4 damage apiece.
But Suekas is on 2 Vanguard swings, which is... And you forget, because of the way it's worded, it's double Persona Ride.
Yeah.
Because she can only read on top of, she has the same name and gives 10k to front. So you're looking at both of these being 45k?
Plus 20k, yeah.
No, plus 35. Because they on attack gain 5. And if there's
base of the 2 Persona Rides, not other card effects.
So just of their effect, they're going to be 45 each, plus 2 Vanguard swings, which is a lot of pressure coming out of here right now. Suekas is going to be...
But April has a lot of shield on board. The Marauding Shade is a
15k intercept.
15k interceptor.
It depends on the size of her drop zone. I don't know if she's.
She'll be at 10. Because she's milled 3 with Nightrose. She's
But one went back and one got cold. So
She's soul blasted a bunch. She's guarded. So she should be close to 10. Obadiah also call mills.
Ooh, 3 triggers is rough.
April's hand is also very big. So
It is.
I will retract my statement. I think April should be fine.
We're going to be counting. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 5 right now? Oh yeah, might be calling one out here. There we go. Calling one out for some, giving it 5k. I believe the grey one's like if you played Eureka, the classic. All reliable coming out.
Been a staple since its release.
What a banger card. Oh, I can't tell if we're at 5 or 6. We're certainly giving a front row plus 10k. I think it's more thinking about whether we're going to double twin drive.
Yeah, the Swakers get 2 twins.
But these columns are so huge. Because like I think we're looking at what, 53 and 58? Which is pretty big.
2 cards in hand. With 2 twin drives.
Because I don't think April can afford to no guard this.
Absolutely not.
Because if she checks a crit, if Swakers checks a crit, it's over.
No, absolutely not. If you have the ability to guard, I would be.
But look how small Swakers' hand is. 2 cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really enough to survive an Iris, and I don't feel it is.
Yeah, even an Obi turn is at 4 is
especially when you
scary.
know 2 triggers just went to the bottom. That is not good.
That's for 30. So 33. Intercepting for
So that's 1 pass.
That's intercepting for 38. And intercepting for another 15.
That's 2 pass.
And
You know, 2 to pass, maybe? First check. Ooh. All effects. Second check. All effect crit. Oh my god.
No.
Incredible.
You hate to see it. But anything can happen. See what I mean? Anything can happen in Card Fight Vanguard. It was a no pass. Apologies.
Yeah, I think it was OT pass.
OT
yeah.
pass, yeah.
But I don't think that's enough. We're going to swing again immediately.
Has Swake? Yeah,
that's the PG
April
coming
showed a
out.
PG.
First check. OT.
OT.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Relax, brother. Relax.
Oh wow. This is turned into.
Relax, brother.
Okay, quite interesting.
Swaka's being straight whimsical with it.
Yippee! So it was with 1 drive.
So yeah, it wasn't 5 and
It was on 5. Oh no, it was with twin.
Oh my god.
So if it was with twin, was there an
was so
argument
right.
there to put the crit on the rear guard?
I think.
Because April isn't no guarding a twin drive at 4.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if I was in Swaker's position, I know they're no guarding.
Oh, heal. The heal does go off.
The heal goes off. Oh wow.
So yeah, pays off. Second check. Front. Oh my god, it's huge. 2 defensive is big. Yeah, we're probably going to see a Swole Blast 1 here bounce to hand, most likely. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would have put the crit on the rear guard from the
And
first
is the 100
crit.
million going to come out? Do we have a second PG in?
So that's it. Well, that 5th heal.
I believe that's where the 100 million went. Must be, right? Must be where the 100 million went.
No, it wasn't. They swung with the 100 million first.
That feels wrong. Because I feel like if by some miracle they can't guard the first one and check 2 heals, then the 100 million still breaks it. But the other way around, you kind of fall victim to a defensive OT or a 6 damage heal, because now that 2 damage made it guardable, right?
Though, if Swaker's swung with...
Because like April now he needs to use 20k less shield to guard that.
But
So,
if April swung takes that first swing, takes that first swing and checks defensive, that first defensive OT, that 100 million is now guardable.
Sure, but I feel like that's correct either way, right? Like this still forces more shield out of her, I feel. Swinging lower than 100 mil.
But also, you want to restrict the amount of counterblast, because if they take if April took the PG had the PG for the 100 million swing, she's working with a lot less. You have she's only working with one more counterblast, which she's used it. So that means next turn she can't use lazy and stride skill and Nightrose, the G1.
Yeah.
So I think it was a restricting damage angle, but I still think it was correct to put the crit on the rear guard, because then you could swing with the 45 first for the 2 crit, make them all on guard, forced to make them all.
Well, but the OT would have given something a crit as well, so you think they would have both been 2 crit, right?
They would have both been 2. Well, every attack would have been 2 damage if that first crit was put on the 45k rear guard swing.
Yeah.
Because April is guarding the Vanguard.
Oh, there you go. The fact April got to heal the Nightstorm as well.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's the Inlag Gold coming out, adding the 15k shield to hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she must have another Nightrose. But yeah, importantly, also seeing the PG getting called out there, so you're getting ready for that hostage package. Because you're just abusing the fact that a lot of standard decks do not have the removal.
Triple drive and it's...
And a crit. Not huge, but... Because the trouble is, April had to go into this before doing a second Obadiah turn, so these numbers are a lot worse.
Yeah.
20, 30, 43? 33, and that's taking the damage. Oh my god, first check. 1.
No, it was only 1. The Enla Gov was...
No crits. Oh, the crits went to the...
Yeah, the crits
rough,
went to the Nightstorm.
Brutal.
So,
and would the Persona Ride be enough? You gotta want... Be a Persona Ride, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Yukia?
Yukia behind? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'm...
Ooh! Big. So that Grey 1 can search the order, so you can deck in 1 more. And it's going to be another curse order.
I think April is in a pretty rough spot.
Yuka is going to get 5k. Yeah, I think you're doing it just to give the 5k. You're going to discard a crit. But it doesn't matter because you just want to deck thin here.
Yeah, game is over this turn. If Swakers wins this turn or loses this turn, just reminding Swakers to put it into Soul.
But it doesn't go to Soul, it goes to Dream Zone. He hasn't played it yet.
I think she's saving time.
I mean,
I
personally don't like it because I can let the person play their turn out, but because the card has to go to the bottom of the deck when it's played. Like, it's not a... That's where the effect puts it to Soul, but you still want to let them do that because you don't want to throw your opponent off.
That's twin drive twice.
Because I don't generally like rushing your opponent. I think it causes mistakes I'm not a fan of. Yeah, they still have the time. They still got like more than 5 minutes to go. First check, second check.
2 blanks. Well, sort of expected.
Discard 1, swing again.
The Elementaria, it's not going to be enough.
It's a lot of shield. PG and...
So 2 PGs, it's not enough. Knights, even an Obadiah. Yep, Goti and PG.
Yeah.
So April survives. That's my goat. So I don't know what she pitched there. I think she pitched a Nightrose. Yeah, Nightrose. Just calling Enla Golf.
I think she's rushing because she thinks she has 30 seconds to go, but she got 5 minutes. Because our round's 25 or 30 minutes.
30.
And she has 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, first damage, GG.
Unfortunately, that's going to be game.
So yeah, I think I mean April needed the heal to live there, but I think Swakers sort of the misplay there was not putting the crit on the first crit on the rear guard, because there's no real reason for April to say no guards to that twin drive swing if she's already no guarded the first one. Sorry, if she already hard guarded the first one. So yeah, I think if I was in Swaker's situation, put the crit on the rear. You bait because if April says no guard, then you check the crit.
You win the game again.
You win the game either way. And then
easy.
like you're turning 2 crits. You're giving 2 crits the ability of forcing 3. You know, as if 3 swings had a crit. So yeah, it's like a small misplay, but it happens.
Yeah, still get rid of the tournament jitters. Only round 1.
Yeah, it's only round 1. Hopefully we see it later.
See you guys in just a couple minutes. We're going to take a quick break as we set up round 2 for you guys. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Ciao.
Ciao.